Today we're going to do some hamstring stretching, some heart openers. So definitely have a block. If you don't have one handy, go ahead and grab that. And then also we'll be using a strap for a bit of hamstring stretch. The rest, the props are to your own preference. I think props are great to have in yin at all times, and they can help you even when you don't feel you need help. They're a great assistance so that you can fully relax into each pose. As well as, for those of you who don't know, yin is a practice that extends joints and helps stretch out your fascia. And so we use a lot of props because you go really deep in the stretch, and it just provides you a little bit of a lift kind of wherever you're at as you do these holds on each pose from 3 to 5 minutes. So our first pose that we will start in is Shavasana, our corpse pose. So we're just gonna start in that pose and get our breath under control here. You can, if you would like, take a bolster if you have it, and you can place it underneath your knees there if you would like. Just have a little bit of a lift there, and from there you'll loosen any kind of tension on your lower spinal column. So go ahead and lay on your mat. You can have your eyes closed. You can gaze up to the ceiling if you would like, if you'd like to keep them open, or maybe you just lower your lids a little bit. You can have your palm, one palm on your belly and one palm on your heart. And just start to take deep inhales and deep exhales. Find your breath wherever you are. Don't feel like that you need to manipulate it at any point right now. Just even inhales and whatever exhale your body is willing to give. Today's class will focus on scripture of gratitude and worship and honoring everything that God gives us and being grateful for everything that we do have. So maybe you set an intention for the next hour to find thankfulness and whatever that is. Maybe it's just that you're thankful for being on your mat and being able to release any burdens that are within your soul into your mat and allow your mat to absorb those feelings. With each inhale, inhale goodness and gratitude. With each exhale, let go of anything that does not serve you, anything that's just stuck, any of those feelings that surface through, allow them to release. Take a deep inhale and let go of your exhale. Inhale and exhale. From here, you can release the bolster that you have if you have one underneath your knees. And just go ahead and hug your knees into your chest just for a moment. This is a form of rebound. Just find stillness for just a moment. When you're ready, you can rock from side to side. Maybe just kind of feel where you have any tightness. Is there any tightness around your spine, around your hips, your shoulders maybe? You release your feet back down. You go ahead and grab one of those blocks. I like to use a smaller block on this one, not so thick, just because we're going to go into a deep heart opener. So you're going to place your block underneath your spine here, in between your two shoulder blades. And you can have it horizontal or vertical. I like it vertical here. I'm just going to come lay flat onto my mat here, laying on the block. Now you have options here. I like to also use a second block and place it underneath my head so it doesn't hang too much here, and ponytails can be such a pain on the mat. But you can position your arms either at your waist, down at your hips here, or maybe you come up to T-arm, or maybe you bring your palms all the way up. The further your arms are up, the deeper you're going to get into this heart opener as your heart lifts up towards the chest. This is a fish pose, assisted fish pose. And so from here, just go ahead and feel your body start to relax. And you shouldn't be hurting in any way. If you have a sharp pain in any sense or way, go ahead and release or lower the block level that you have. Or maybe you just need to move it up or down your spine to find that correct spot. You are going to feel uncomfortable. And that is just yoga in general. Learning to be okay with being uncomfortable is a huge lesson of what we learn each and every day. Allow your breath through each asana today, through each pose. Allow it to just take you into your pose. With each inhale, your chest fills up, and with each exhale, maybe you can go a little bit further through your asana. You don't have to manipulate your breath or manipulate it, but let it help guide you. Feel free in any asana to go all the way to your edge. I like to compare it to a 1 to 10 range. So you find that 6 to 7 range of intensity, and that's where you kind of sit, kind of right on the edge there. And towards the end of each pose, which I'll give you halfway point, and I'll give you 6 rounds of breath points, which is about a minute left remaining. And if your body at that point is inviting you to go further deep, maybe to that 8 level of intensity, then go ahead and go there. But also you must listen to your body, and if it's saying back away, that's okay too. Utilize any props that you may have. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable through each pose. And learn to move with intention. So when you come out of each pose, feel free to move slowly and to just release anything that you have left on the mat. You have about 6 rounds of breath remaining in this pose. As your heart opens up, just give gratitude to the Lord. Gratitude for all things that you are blessed with in your life. And maybe even gratitude for the hard times, because the hard times are where change and growth truly happen. If we were always blessed to our happiest extent and the happiest part of life, there would be no motivation to grow and to change. We are sent through trials that God sends us through. And this is where we truly grow into the people that we are supposed to be, into the stewards and disciples that we are supposed to be. Wherever you are, go ahead and release your block underneath your spine, maybe also underneath your head, and come to lay flat onto your mat, into your Shavasana, into your rebound, and find stillness here. Maybe you feel like your chest has sunk a little bit into a hole. It's no longer opened up, and that's okay. Feel the energy circle around your body. Take a deep inhale and let go of your exhale. When you're ready, you slowly start to sit up onto your mat and come into your next pose, which is butterfly pose. So butterfly pose, you're going to have your soles of your feet to touch. And if you would would like to get your heels closer to your torso, go ahead and lift your torso and walk your torso towards your heels as opposed to your heels towards your torso. That'll give you more of a lift in your spine. You have the option here. You can grab a block or even a bolster. I like to use a block and rest it underneath your head to prop you up. Now, the other options that you have from this point is that you can extend your feet further out, and that might give a little bit of relief. Maybe you need a blanket underneath your ankles here as you go a little bit further as well. That'll give you an option to go deeper, fold deeper over. So choose whichever version works for you and find stillness from that point. Allow your body to invite you to go to that 6 to 7 range of intensity from 1 to 10. Now, the reason to go to just that range of intensity is because if you would go any further, you would activate your muscles and you would take away from the action of working out your joints. So that's not what we're going for in your yin practice tonight. We're working for joint work and for fascia work. We're not trying to get deep into the muscles like we do so in our Vinyasa class, which brings strength. And so by activating your muscles, you're strengthening them, which is good. It's just not our goal for this evening. So remember that 6 to 7 range. And maybe your body invites you to go further. But remember also that usually each pose intensifies the longer you stay in it. Make a joyful shout to the Lord, all you lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who made us and not ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. You're at your halfway point. So try to seek quietness through each pose, just as you seek stillness. By finding your still and quiet place, you can hear the Lord's still and quiet voice. Any feelings or tension that may arise, acknowledge them, but then let them go. You have 6 rounds of breath remaining. The goal of this practice is just to help you find stillness, to clear your mind. Wherever you are, you may start to release any props that you have. and slowly begin to rise up. And take a moment here as you are seated all the way up. Maybe you extend your feet out slowly, and in your staff pose, maybe you bring your palms by your hips and press down into your mat, still finding stillness. Maybe your eyes stay closed. Maybe your gaze is lowered. Feel all the energy from your legs, your feet, move through your spine. When you're ready, you can come into caterpillar pose. So you'll keep your feet extended out in front of you. You can grab a strap if you would like. You can use the strap on the ball of your feet as you arch your spine and fold forward. This is also a great place for a bolster where you can fold forward in that way, or you can also use a block to help you go deeper. I think I'm going to stick with a bolster tonight. That feels good for me. So wherever you're at, feel where you feel any tension, any tightness. So do you feel anything in your feet? Do you feel anything in your calves? Do you feel through your glutes or your hamstrings? Maybe you feel through your spine. Acknowledge where you're feeling all the tension. Everyone feels things a little bit differently, and everyone's tight in different ways, and everyone's loose in different ways. So take the time to feel the sensations that you feel. Go to your edge, that border of uncomfortable and comfortable. See if you can quiet all the noise and just become one with your body, your temple. Enter into the Lord's gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful to him and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy everlasting, and his truth endures to all generations. You are at your halfway point. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is where growth happens. This is where your heart opens up and accepts new possibilities. You have about 6 rounds of breath remaining wherever you are. Maybe your body is inviting you to go deeper. Maybe it's asking you to back away. Wherever you are, Listen to your body and accept any invitation it asks for. From here, you can go ahead and release any props that you have. And with stillness and intention, quietness and slowness, slowly begin to rise up. And you come to rebound down onto your mat, come lay on your mat. As slowly and as still as possible into your Shavasana. So find the stillness, feel the release, whether in your spine, in your legs, in your body. Just allow your body to release. It's important that after each one of these intense, deep poses, that you find 30 seconds to 60 seconds of stillness so that your body can move the energy around. All that tension release, it's a conversation to your nervous system, letting your body know what just happened. What did we help open up? Did you feel that? Allow the conversation to happen. If you would like to hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side, you're welcome to do so. Or maybe like me, your body just calls you to a moment of stillness. And when you're ready, from here, you'll switch over to lay onto your right side into cat's catching tail. And from here, on your right side, your top knee is going to bend. It can come either onto your mat or onto a block. And your bottom knee, your bottom foot is going to bend, and you're going to grasp it with your top arm behind you. So you have an option. You can prop your arm here underneath your head, or maybe you put a block underneath your head and you allow your head to rest on a block. The goal here, though, is to see how you can get your top shoulder down so that your chest is up towards the sky. Don't be upset if your shoulder doesn't touch. That's okay. This is a real intense hamstring strength. So the more you do so, the more your quad stretch, not hamstring. The more you'll feel your quads stretching. And the further you twist your top shoulder down to your mat, the more you're going to crank your spine a little bit. So be mindful to twist from your thoracic spine. So get that twist right where it belongs. And find a moment to relax. If you would like to deepen a little bit further, make it a little bit more intense, you can bring your top knee closer to your chest, or maybe you even grasp your top foot that's in front of you. That's an option there if you would like. But find a level that is accessible to you and to your body. Now remember, each side is different. So when we switch sides on this, maybe one side will be deeper than the other, one side will be tighter than the other. Don't let that affect you. Just acknowledge those feelings and then let it go. And also remember, the longer you're in a pose, the depth is going to intensify. Sometimes it relaxes a little bit, but most of the time, there's a little bit of growth in the intensity of each pose. You are at your halfway point. Seek out the Lord in all times and in all ways. Find peace and gratitude in his spirit and in his love. For the Lord is good, so, so good. Seek the quiet serenity in your mind as you let all the scattered, confused feelings dissipate, and find a still, quiet place to meditate upon, a place where prayers are built. Find your war room of prayer, a room where you can fight battles with the words that you speak, because they all honor the Lord. You have 6 rounds of breath remaining. Wherever you are, you slowly come to unwind and come to find a moment of stillness on the back, on your back, on your mat. Find your Shavasana as you feel all the energy come and gather, and tell your body what just happened. And everything give thanks, for this is the will of God concerning you in Christ Jesus. Give thanks to the God of heaven, for his loving kindness endures forever. If you would like to hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side, you may do so. And when you feel complete and you feel ready, you can reverse side over to your left side. You'll lay on your left side. Your right knee or top knee comes over to your mat or into a block. You can have your palm crossed underneath your head if you would like. You can grab, which I'm going to do another block and place that underneath your head. You can grasp now your bottom foot behind you with your top arm. So your left foot is clasped by your right palm. And remember, each side is different. Like Noritel, this is a little bit of a tighter side for me. And so I'm sure the intensity will grow. I'm staying in that 6 to 7 range of intensity, so I don't overactivate my muscles. I can feel a lot of tension in my quads. And with each breath, I'm allowing my body to go a little bit deeper, but not too far. just that perfect edge where I can still comfortably find my breath. I can still ponder upon the good things of the Lord. And I can quiet all the chatter. Allow yourself to deepen. If your body's inviting you to go deeper, maybe your top knee comes a little bit closer to your chest. Maybe your top right shoulder comes closer to your mat. You are at your halfway point. Be mindful that every yin practice you take from every teacher is a little bit different. But one thing that you will hear from all of us is the importance of finding stillness. If you are in a pose that you are constantly having to move and shift and change, that's not helping you in any way. You want to be able to find still moments in each pose, in each asana, so that you can truly release any tension within your fascia, any tightness building up there, as well as assisting your joints in opening up and letting all that fluid that you have through your joints properly move to where it belongs and not build up. You have 6 rounds of breath remaining in your cat's tail pose. The Lord is my strength and my shield. In him my heart trusts, and I am helped. My heart exults, and with my song I give thanks to him. Slowly start to unwind. Come into your Shavasana pose, your rebound pose. And if you can, get there with as little movement as possible, with little stillness in your body, as much quiet stillness as possible. Feel the energy reverberate through your body as that energy creates balance, as it realizes that now each side is equal. Allow that conversation to flow into your nervous system. Allow your exhales to release any tension that is remaining. And from your Shavasana, you can come to waterfall or legs up on the wall. So from here, you would have your feet flexed, your feet up. You can do this on a wall, which is really great to do as well. I like to keep my feet flexed here. You can point them, but you'll have more activation with your feet flexed. If you have a standby, which I do not have, I just for you to have, but that's always great. And you can place this, like this block on top of your feet there. And that'll just give extra weight there and activate a little bit more. You can also use a block underneath your sacrum here, and it'll give you a little bit more lift there. Like I said, you can do this up against the wall. I like to do this in the morning when I'm struggling to wake up, if I can remember to do it, because this is a real good energy shifter. So you get that blood rush. So it's going from your feet up towards your torso, and it's similar to a burst of caffeine to your body. So this is, if you do this for 5 minutes when you wake up in the morning, this is a great way to start your day out. You can also do this against your wall with V legs as well, so your feet would spread wide in that sense. If this gets to be too much for you, there's a little bit too much numbing going on in your feet, you can always hug your knees into your chest. Or if you have that block underneath you, you can release your spine in that way too. You are at your halfway point. If you find that your mind is jumping around a bit, just lift up any worries that you have up to the Lord and ask Him to help you sort through it. Or ask Him to, just for this time, just take it away so that you can come to this practice with full seeking of the Lord, with a full release. Allow your breath to deepen wherever you are. Let your breath guide the energy that you feel through your body. You have 6 rounds of breath remaining. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. We lift you up, Lord, as high as we can, and find thankfulness in your words and in your spirit. You may hug your knees into your chest. Extend your legs out for Shavasana, for your rebound. Feel the stillness. Feel the energy. Maybe you feel heat, or maybe you feel coldness, maybe around your sacral area. If you would like to hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side, you may do so. Or maybe you just stay still. From here, grab your strap. You can stay laying on your back for a little hamstring stretch, and these will be a little bit shorter. So you can lift your right leg up. You can take your strap on the ball of your foot and just kind of pull your toes toward your head. You can have a bend in your knee if you would like. Maybe you go to straighten your leg out. But just feel the intensity of the hamstring stretch right there. Get a deep stretch in the hamstrings. Maybe you use your strap to pull your knife edge side of your foot over to the side a little bit so that your feet are at an angle, just to get the strength out of your feet. You can also invert from the other side so that your big toe is closer to your head and your knife edge side of your foot is up. Just helps strengthen your ankles while you still are finding the still and extension through your hamstring. When you're ready, you can extend your right leg out to the right side. Not all the way down, more at a 45-degree angle. Still, once again, you can have the bend in your knee. Maybe you keep your legs straight. Just feel this in your inner thigh and your groin area, and this just finds a little bit of extension through that side. They'll probably feel a little bit in your hamstrings. I know I do, but I've been really tight in my hamstrings lately. And when you're ready, you can inhale your foot all the way back up, and exhale as you extend, you cross your right leg over your body, getting real into those IT bands right there. So you can keep your foot flexed. You don't want your foot to go all the way down to the ground, but right there, 45-degree angles. Maybe I think I'm more 35 here. But right where you are at that sweet spot where you have all the tension in your IT band as it loosens up. Maybe you can feel it all the way in your glutes. I know I'm feeling intensely there. Just allow your body to start releasing on itself. Remember to breathe wherever you are, in whatever way you would like. Try not to hold your breath. One more breath here. Inhale as you come back up to center. You can drop your foot down. Now we'll switch feet. Come to your left foot. Lift your left foot up. Remember, one side is always different than the other. I can already tell you that this one's tighter for me as well. And so you can have a slight bend in the knee if you would like. Maybe straighten your leg. And depending on how straight your leg is can determine on how close you get it. But just kind of feel your body out. You might be more inclined to bend your knee and get your hamstrings close to your body, or maybe you straighten and feel more extension all the way through into your calf. Either's fine for today's practice. So it's yogi's choice. When you are ready, you can open out to your left side, 45-degree angle. So you'll once again feel in your inner thigh, your groin area, maybe still some of your hamstrings. And we didn't do the ankle rotations of the inverting and outverting of your foot when we had it up towards the ceiling here. So if you would like to play with that a little bit here, you can too. Same kind of stretch. Even if you invert your big toe towards your body, you might activate a little bit more of your inner thigh stretch as well. That's what I'm feeling, just a bit. Just taking notice and acknowledging different sensations through your body. Inhale back to center. And on your exhale, you can stretch out over to the other side. So remember, this one goes into your IT band here. Don't bring your toes all the way down to your mat. Maybe you feel to your IT band all the way to a point in your glute. Maybe you don't. All right, inhale back to center. And release your strap, release your feet down. Extend into your Shavasana. Allow your body to regroup once again. Allow your breath to help send all the message to your nervous system. If you would like to hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side, you may. Thanks therefore be unto God for his unspeakable gift. Thank God that he gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us. Thank you for your goodness, Lord. Thank you for your love and your encouragement. From wherever you are on your mat, you can bring your feet flat onto your mat for twisted roots. So you can drop your knees to your left side, gaze to your right side. You can have your palms extended out in T formation, or maybe you have your palms further up. Maybe you cross your top knee over your bottom knee to deepen your stretch. Mindful to stretch or twist from your thoracic spine. And from here, you can either, if your top shoulder, your right shoulder isn't on your mat, you can always place a block underneath there if that helps to lessen the intensity of the twist on your spine. Now we've done, this is our second big twist that we've done tonight. So anytime you ever do any kind of twist in a practice, you always want to make sure that you drink lots of water, because twists help detox your body. You can think of it as your spine bringing out like a wet towel. By twisting it and getting all the toxins out, you want to rehydrate with lots of water so it can help push out all the toxins from your body. Wherever you are, come back to the intention that you set earlier. Align with your intention. Rest in stillness in your still and quiet mind. Be still and know that He is God. Inhale back to center and exhale. Release your body to your other side. So you'll drop your knees over to your right side, gaze to your left, the palms out, T formation or above your head if you would like. Maybe you twist your top knee over your bottom knee. Release any feelings or sensations. Into your mat. Anything that lingers, that does not bring you peace. Release into your mat. Allow God to speak in this quiet place so that you may hear His goodness and understand the good things He has planned for you. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable as you seek to become better, better disciple. You have 6 rounds of breath remaining. Inhale your knees back to center. And exhale into your final pose, Shavasana. Release any feelings of tension into your mat. That last circle of energy that your body creates will soon fade away. If you would like to put a bolster underneath your knees in your final Shavasana, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, just find peace and serenity in your gratitude that you learned how to be comfortable with uncomfortable feelings, uncomfortable sensations. Now rest in your comfortness. We give thanks to you, Lord God, all powerful. You are the one who is and who was. We thank you because you have used your great power and have begun to rule. Help us lead lives full of you and full of your goodness so that we may spread goodness and love and gratitude to everyone around us, Lord. You may slowly start to bring your awareness to your breath and to your body. Maybe you wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If you are in need of more rest, you may come to lay on your right side in a fetal position. If you are in need of more energy, you may come to lay on your left side in a fetal position. Whichever side you choose, honor this side with 2 rounds of breath. And when you are ready and you feel complete, you may meet me at the front of your mat in an easy seated position with your palms at heart center, your head bowed. We'll end the class in 1 round of Om, which is a sound that God made when He created all the earth. It is the sound that balances us all. Inhale for prep. Om.
Shalom and namaste.